Welcome to our Clinic Server Training Module 7.4, completing an OCF 18 and OCF 23 with Clinic Server. In this module, we will be reviewing MVA treatment plan procedures, take a look at the overview of the HCI integration, confirming patient intake, how to create an OCF 18 and an OCF 23, a review of the electronic submissions for treatment plans, how to look at adjuster responses, and how to update payment plans. When a patient has been involved in a car accident, a treatment plan outlining the proposed goods and services must be submitted to their auto insurance for approval after their assessment. If the patient does not qualify under the minor injury guideline, or if this is not the first treatment plan, an OCF 18 should be completed. If the patient falls within the minor injury guideline, an OCF 23 should be completed. Before the patient leaves their assessment, have them sign page 4 of the OCF 18 or page 3 of the OCF 23, then have the PC scan a copy of this and upload it to the Documents tab. Clinic Server has a direct integration setup with HCI, meaning users that are submitting treatment plans or invoices don't need to leave Clinic Server in order to send these documents through to HCI or to receive a response back from the insurance company's adjuster. More specifically, when you create an OCF 18 or 23 through Clinic Server, you will get instant results if there are errors with the submission. When an adjuster has reviewed your plan, their adjudication response will be transmitted back to Clinic Server with an approved, partially approved, or a denied status. Before you begin filling out the appropriate OCF, you want to double-check the intake requirements for an MVA patient. Mandatory fields are highlighted in red to prompt the completion of the fields, but there may be additional information that's required. In the Profile tab, make sure all the demographic fields are completed with the proper spelling and in the proper format. From the Employed drop menu, indicate if the patient is employed or not. Move to the Records tab and highlight the appropriate treatment plan. Right-click and select Edit. In the General tab, confirm the injury date and the payment plan. In the Diagnosis tab, confirm that the MVA funding stream has been selected and all the applicable diagnostic codes have been added. You can enter up to 6 codes. Use the drop menu to find the code or click on the search icon to narrow down your selection. Make sure you select an MVA appropriate code. The codes with 4 digits only are only applicable to OHIP funded patients. Click OK to save this information and to exit. The last thing we need to confirm is the billing information. Click on the Billing tab, highlight the payer, right-click and select Edit. Confirm the policy number, claim number, and adjuster have been entered. If an adjuster is not available, check the Financial Memo area of the Profile tab to see if the PC noted this information. It is possible that the PC has submitted a resource request form to have the adjuster added to the system remotely. In the Insured tab, make sure the employer has been completed. The checkbox labeled Signature on File is used to confirm that the patient has signed a copy of the OCF. Be sure to print this page for the patient to sign, then use this checkbox and enter in the date so this information is included on your treatment plan submission. The Limits tab will be completed when the plan you are submitting for comes back approved. Now let's begin with the OCF 18. When you are ready to complete this form, go to the Records tab, highlight the treatment plan, and click on the Payer tab. Right-click in the white area and select Create Ontario OCF 18 from the list. The Coverage tab will list all the demographic and insurance information for the patient. If there is any missing information, close out of this screen and update the applicable tabs. The checkboxes Client Signature Waived and PAF/MIG should not be checked off. Move to the Injury tab. At the top of the screen will be the diagnostic codes that were assigned to the treatment plan. Complete the next 5 areas from your assessment. Indicate if there were any prior conditions or treatments for the patient, or if there are any concurrent conditions using the No, Unknown, and Yes checkboxes. If you select Yes, use the text box to type in your notes. In the last 2 sections, note any employment or normal life limitations and indicate if the patient is on modified employment duties. In the Goals tab, indicate your overall goals and functional goals using the checkboxes. If you select Other, use the text box to enter in your details. Enter in how the patient's progress will be evaluated and if there are any improvements from a prior treatment plan. Then indicate if there are barriers to recovery, any recommendations, and any concurrent treatment. In the Treatment tab, we're going to enter in the proposed goods and services that we are requesting approval for. If this is the first treatment plan, enter in the code for the assessment. In this example, we're going to select PT MVA AX. The fee column will display the appropriate HCAG code. On the right side, you will see the number of items requested and the price. In the Measure column, select the appropriate code. SN should be selected for all PT treatments and assessments. PR is used for massage therapy and documentation, and GD would be used for all products. Next, select the code for the treatments. In the Volume column, enter in the number of treatments you are recommending. If you are combining your request for treatment with other services, repeat these steps to enter in the number of treatments for that service. You will also need to enter in a code for payment of the OCF 18. And if there are products you'd like to dispense to the patient to assist with their recovery, add each of them to the list. At the bottom of this screen, enter in the estimated duration in weeks and indicate if visits have already been provided. Use the checkbox if you are sending attachments, and use the text box below to enter any additional comments for the adjuster. The total amount of services that are being requested will be visible on the right side. If you are ready to submit your treatment plan, click OK. But please note this action does not submit the treatment plan. However, once you do click OK, you cannot make any edits to any of these tabs. Be sure to confirm your details one last time. After clicking OK, the treatment plan item will appear in the Payer tab with the status Pending Electronic Submission. When you are ready to submit the treatment plan, highlight the line item, right-click, and select Submit Ontario OCF 18. If there are any errors with the treatment plan, a window will appear listing the issues and the line item will be canceled. Review the errors, then recreate the form by highlighting the canceled plan, right-click, and select Create Ontario OCF 18 from Existing. Correct the appropriate fields or codes, then try your submission again. When the treatment plan has been submitted successfully, the status column will be updated to Submitted. After the adjuster reviews the plan, their adjudication will be transmitted back to Clinic Server. Your treatment plan will be updated with one of the following statuses: approved, partially approved, or denied. The dollar amount that is approved must be entered into the Limits tab of the patient's payment plan. If multiple services were requested together on the same treatment plan, use the default line to enter in the total amount approved. If services were requested separately, enter in the approved amount for each service. Now let's take a look at the OCF 23. Again, go to the Records tab and click on the Payer tab. Right-click and select Create Ontario OCF 23. The Coverage tab displays the patient's demographic and insurance information. Review these details to ensure everything is correct, but if there is missing information or an error, exit out of the treatment plan and correct the patient's profile. At the bottom of the screen, check off the box that you are the initiating provider, but do not check off Client Signature Waived. Move on to the Injury tab. The diagnostic codes will appear at the top again. Then complete the next parts by indicating if the patient was employed at the time of the accident, if there are any prior conditions or treatment, and if there are any barriers to recovery. The only areas in the Treatment tab that need to be completed are the amount and whether or not attachments are being sent, or if there are additional comments for the adjuster. The full amount of the MIG program is $2,200. This includes the assessment, the 3 treatment blocks, the discharge report, and $400 of supplementary goods and services. To finish off the treatment plan, indicate if attachments are being sent and enter in a message for the payer. Again, once you click OK to this treatment plan, you cannot go back and make any edits prior to your submission. Double-check your information, then click OK. The treatment plan will appear in the Payer tab with the status Pending Electronic Submission. Right-click and select Submit Ontario OCF 23. Let's recap what we just learned in this module. For all new patients, an OCF 18 or an OCF 23 must be completed in the patient's file within Clinic Server. If treatment plan submissions are not successful, be sure to review the error report and resubmit a new copy of the plan. When the adjuster responds to your treatment plan request, the status will be transmitted to Clinic Server. Transmissions happen frequently throughout the day. When a treatment plan has been approved, make sure the PC updates the limits section of the patient's payment plan. If you have any questions or concerns with the content that we covered in this module, please email us at clinicserversupport@pthealth.ca or contact us by calling 1-866-401-9162.